We're really worried he's going to walk off the show. If he walks off the show, we're kind of screwed. So go to his house today and do whatever you can, keep him on the show. I'm like, I'll go now. He's like, what kind of car have you got? I'm like, I got a Mustang. You rented it for me. Thank you. He's like, okay, you cannot put that Mustang outside his house. You can only have a Porsche or a Ferrari or a Jaguar outside this house. So don't even put it on the street. That will wind him up. Put it around the corner. So I'm driving along to Beverly Hills in my, I thought, very cool Mustang. And I turn up at this like massive, extraordinarily stunning house. I knock on the door. He lets me in. He says, I don't know why they sent some Brit here to sort me out. You know, I've been in every rehab. I've seen every therapist. No one can help me. I'm like, let me see what I can do. And then he said to me, you have the look of my third wife. Something about you reminds me. She was such a disappointment to me. So I'm like, this is an amazing house. Wow, we went, I hate this house. I'm leaving, and I hate my neighbors. I'm moving. So I'm like, okay. And then I notice he has a BAFTA, and I'm like, you have a BAFTA? He went, do you know what a curse it is to get a BAFTA? Every time I make a film, I'm expected to get another BAFTA. So I'm like, you know what? I know what's wrong with you. He's like, really? What? I said, you just don't think you're enough, do you? Oh, wait, this is already up for you. You do not think that you are enough. And considering how cranky he was, his big tears started to leak out of his eyes. He said, do you think that's true? And I'm like, come on. I know it's true. And so do you. I mean, look, you can't have a car on your drive unless it's a Porsche. You've had 4 ex-wives that have all disappointed you. Your BAFTA is a curse, and you don't like this amazing house. But anyway, look, tell me about your life. So he's now quite mellow, and he's telling me his life. He's raised in a trailer park. They have no money. His dad's a construction worker. When he can get work, the mum works as a night nurse for more money. And they're pretty much dirt poor. And because the mum's working nights every day, he cooks his dad a construction worker's dinner of meat, vegetables, potatoes. And he has this weird stuff I've never heard of called saps, which is milk soaked in bread. And I'm like, did your dad ever share his food? He went, are you kidding? He would share that with a dog before he even gave me his leftovers. I'm like, well, there it is. If your own father doesn't like you, if you don't even get the same food that you cook from, if he prefers the dog to you, none of your needs are met. Now, children must idolize their parents. That is a fact. You have to idolize your parents. And when your parents are wrong, you can't ever get that, so you think, I'm wrong. So what you've done is very common. I'm not enough. That's why my parents treat me like this. I'm going to get better, and then they'll be great. And that is the driver that has made you extraordinarily famous and successful. But guess what? You still think you're not enough. And all this stuff is never going to help you because you don't feel enough. So if I was a doctor, I was diagnosing you. Here's your diagnosis. You don't think you're enough. And here's your prescription. I want you to say it every day in the shower, I'm enough. What else are you going to say in there? Oh, I love the smell of this Jo Malone shampoo. I'm enough. You say that over and over and over again. So he's quite up for it. So we've gone around his house, and I've written on all his mirrors in big lipstick, got a lot of lipstick with 4 ex-wives, I'm enough. I said, just say it, think it. So I've written it, and I've taken his phone, and I've put it on his phone alerts every morning, every night. It pings with, I am enough. 6 weeks later, I'm back on my set, and I'm going onto the studio. I'm on the lot, and I'm walking to the recording studio, and I see someone only about as far away as you. And when I see him, and he sees me, he starts to undo his trousers. Then he undoes his shirt, and I'm like, is this guy really going to flash me on a lot in LA? And where is security? And then I realize it's him. And when I get close, he went, look at me. I have lost so much weight. Look how flat my stomach is. He said, I never would have believed that those 3 words could change my life. I went, well, they do that. They changed my life. That's why I teach this stuff. He went, no, but guess what? I've sold the Porsche. He goes, I've got a Mini. Now I'm not a fat, cranky bastard. I don't need that Porsche. And guess what else? I've just started to date a hairdresser. He said, all my girlfriends have been models and actresses. He said, I'm having a normal life. He said, it's like amazing. So I stayed in touch with him. And a couple of years ago, he called me and went, guess where I am? I'm like, tell me. He said, I'm fishing in Iceland. And guess what else? I'm happy. So I've never been happy in my life. I've just got a normal life, and I'm so happy. So I'm back in England, and a psychiatrist calls me, because I do very unusual work. Occasionally, when psychiatrists can't get anywhere, they send me their clients. And this psychiatrist said, look, we've got this girl. She's tried to kill herself. She's been sectioned. I don't know what to do with her. I'm so scared she's going to jump out of a window. Can you come and see what you can do? So I'm like, sure, I've worked with him a lot. So I've gone to this hospital, and I've read her notes, and I understand what's going on. Her mother killed herself when she was young. She found her mother. She's a city trader earning 3 million sterling a year. She's a compulsive shopper, and she's just tried to jump under a train. So I've gone into her room, and I've said, do you know what's wrong with you? She went, oh, yes, I have manic depression, I'm bipolar, I'm a compulsive shopper, and I'm a hoarder. I'm like, you don't think you're enough. I said, all this other stuff. Your mum tried to kill herself, well, did kill herself, and you found her, and any child going through that would think the same thought. If I was enough, how would my mum do that? I wasn't even enough for my mum to live, or not even to kill herself, or I didn't find her. And all this shopping is just filler for the fact that you don't think you're enough. And I said, and I want to help you. She said, well, I'm going to kill myself. It's not if, it's when. I'm like, well, okay. But before you do that, how about you just have a month of saying, and they're not letting you out of here anyway, so how about just saying, I'm enough? They're not letting you near any windows, so you're going to be locked in this room for a while, but how about just doing it? So I did the same thing, took her phone, put on it, I'm enough, and it goes off every morning, every night, wrote it on her mirror, because she was so very fragile. I made her a recording. I hypnotized her. I sat next to her, and I just said in her ear over and over again, you are enough, you are enough. I made her say it back. Because she's so fragile, I start to text her every day saying, you're enough. And she starts to text me back, I am enough. And this girl had such a phenomenal transformation. She gave up her job. She started a charity for depressed people. And this TV station's got her story, and she's going to be on the TV. And they said, can you come on as well? Because you helped her. I'm okay. So I've gone on the TV. This is not about me, this show. It's about her. But at one stage, the anchorman looked at me and went, but what did you do? What did you do that no one else did? And I kind of took a bit of a breath. I thought, oh my God, they're going to think this is really woo-woo, really LA. I went, well, I told her she was enough. I made her a recording to listen to every day. I wrote it on her hand. I wrote it on her mirror. And I waited for him to roll his eyes, and he went, oh my God, I love that. I'm going to go home, and I'm going to write that on my mirror. And I think all our viewers will love that. So I've gone home, and I have thousands of emails saying, where can I get this book called I'm Enough? It's not a book, it's a part of a book. So I'm home, and the psychiatrist around me went, oh, I saw the show. I said, what did you think? He went, oh my God, it's so depressing. I'm like, what, the mother? No, you cured that girl in an hour. I have been working with her for years. I'm like, well, why don't you do what I do? I mean, I don't understand. Every psychiatrist is taught the common denominator of all our problems is we don't feel good enough, smart enough, pretty enough, lovable enough. So when you do that psychiatrist, how do you feel today? And how did that make you feel? Which is really psychiatrist. I don't have a clue what to do with you. So I just keep saying, and how did that make you feel? Stop doing that shit. Go straight to what's wrong with them. It doesn't matter what they feel. They don't feel enough.